I spoke to the gentleman for at least an hour. He has many certificates, a lot of background in government, municipal government specifically, a lot of certificates, qualifications, and I understand what Mr. Captain is saying as far as the ordinance saying that he has to have a BA, but in reading his resume, he basically almost does have the school requirements with all the awards and certificates he has gotten in all the different areas relating to running a government. I see no problem in giving the man a chance. We've had other administrators, and unfortunately, they're gone now. They've moved on. They've gone to other townships. And this gentleman has proven to me by his resume that he has done only good for the city of Paterson, and he has proved his qualifications beyond anything I've seen in a long time. I think you really need to sit and talk to him for a good long while and ask the appropriate questions to get the answers to the questions that you have. Not just go in there and immediately say that because he was an elected official and he was a mayor, he doesn't have qualifications to run a town.
Council President.
Now, I share some of the same concerns going into meeting Mr. Torres as Mr. Captain did, and especially the criteria of the administrative code. And then looking at the experience, yes, you can say some of this, almost any mayor could write and apply it. When I came in to speak to Mr. Torres, I asked him to explain, instead of giving me a political speech on what I did, and everybody else did it, tell me how you achieved this. The man's philosophies were so specific in the understanding of everything. Of course, my background, I kind of lean towards land use. When a man can sit there and explain how to use a master plan as a blueprint for economic development and move on from there, when the man sat on COA and understands COA, with the impact it has on our town, better than I can begin to understand it. When he has these type of qualifications and the philosophies we have to apply to it, those type of experiences for so many years replaces any college piece of paper. You know, you can have a very intelligent person come into town hall and work in government, and he was so successful in the private sector of Fortune 500 companies, but you put him in the government surroundings and the window he has to work in, and they can't apply themselves, not because they're not smart, they're not used to working within the frame of government. Mr. Torres shows so much of that is unbelievable. He's been selecting panelists and speakers around the country on issues that we face every day. So when you take the general philosophy, yes, is Paterson different than Jackson? Yes. Is it larger? Yes. But some of the basics and the philosophies he applied, and I sat with him for some time, towards economic development, land use, just the taxes, creativity, in his case going after grants that most naturally we cannot probably get here because we're not in a city or urban city. But the way he applied the philosophies he displayed to me in there on all the categories that we're concerned about, that the business administrator would be part of, or should be part of, even down to his purchasing experiences, and working within that in the frame of government. He exceeded everything a college degree could show me. And I came in here with the same exact concerns Mr. Captain had, and that was the first question I asked him. Define me how you did this. You did these 3 pages. How did you do it, and not the people under you? And about an hour into that conversation, I was totally convinced that gentleman did it, and his philosophies. And right now, unless somebody has a way of changing my mind, I'm going to support this gentleman. Thank you.
Mr. Yes, please, Ms. Ritter.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a concern about the college education, also the nosebleed, obviously. I'm not sitting here blowing my nose. I have a concern, but if you say that before the actual appointment takes effect, I don't love changing ordinances to fit the situation. I did have a different question, though. In this township, as I understand it, the township administrator actually crafts the budget with the mayor. The mayor doesn't actually present the budget per se to the township administrator. It's kind of a co-thing. And the department heads contribute their requests, wish lists, whatever, to the mayor. And the mayor then meets with the township administrator. Are you comfortable with having that strong a role?
Absolutely. Both sides have to work together. We have to know the needs of the department heads. We have to know the needs of the administration. But most importantly, we have to keep in mind the taxpayer's ability to pay. So taking all those three into consideration, that's part of the budget processes. The budget process is a rubber band. It contracts and expands. And so we will put together a budget that hopefully will serve the people of the township and not off the backs of the taxpayers, and as well run good government.
That answers my question. It was mostly the education.
Mayor Randall, would you like to check any thoughts?
And if I may, on the education,
Sure.
you know, a lot has been spoken about the 8 years, or the 8 years as mayor, 12 years as the legislative end. 17 of those years I've been a purchasing agent, which is procuring goods and services, negotiating contracts, making sure that we work within budgetary confinements, and everything and any civil service or personnel is always, and I truly believe that this probably was the intent of the legislators when they adopted their office, is that you look at any civil service that says, or experience in lieu of the education. At this point, my experience, I would say, is in lieu of it, and just to satisfy not only the councilman, but my own personal growth, I'm looking at having that analyzed by a college so that they could take my work experience and offer the degree accordingly. And I'm also looking into becoming a member of the International Association of County and City Managers, in which that is a certification. Most of my certificates are not certificates of appreciation. They are actually certification for courses taken. My Homeland Security is actually executive for OEM in case of a tragedy. Those are certifications by the Attorney General's Office and the Office of Homeland Security. So they're not just certificates that you get on when an organization just wants to give you a certificate of recognition. They're actually educational certificates. That has taken me, as the Vice President indicated, to speak. Just recently I was in Baltimore to speak on a major waterfront development that it was this Chief Executive Officer as a legislator first that got a state park, a city park, designated as a state park, designated as a national park, that took me to Washington, D.C. when it was created part of the National Park Services. So it's both executive and legislative, but more knowing how to get to where you're going.
Mayor? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. Thank you, Council President. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been something that has been an arduous task, to say the least. We had many applicants.